Hello, and welcome to another episode of The End of the Search. This one I call it, There is No Need for Survival. And it's based on a question somebody, or a comment somebody made in one of the videos in the Spanish channel. And the comment is, fear creates the search. But when you depend on everything, it's hard not to search or seek, whatever. Your comments separate that dependence from even the most basic things like health, work, etc. It's true that life unfolds on its own, but we are receivers of sensations. It's true that some exaggerate or magnify things according to their interpretation, but we are limited by this dependence on a system that doesn't work solely based on your interpretations or expectations of results and calm. Sensations kidnap you, trap you, and there is always a struggle for survival. So I'll share with you what I wrote to that comment, and then we'll elaborate a bit. I said, the struggle for survival only arises from the belief of being a separate individual. But when there is an awareness of who I am, suffering and fear falls away, even though life continues to express itself through the apparent individual, including actions for survival. Fear creates the search or the seeking only when we believe we are separate individuals. But again, when what I am becomes clear, the search ceases, because who would be the one searching? And yes, the sensations can still be there, but the idea of being kidnapped and trapped is just thoughts projected onto them. And again, when I know that I am, thoughts and sensations are just that, passing clouds that don't trap you, they simply appear and disappear. So again, the issue here is that the person is parting from the belief that is a separate individual, and it says, for example, fear creates the search. Yeah, but the search or the seek is happening all the time. Because as long as you believe you're an individual, you feel separate. Therefore, you feel scarce. So the seeking doesn't have to take the form of a spiritual seeking. For example, I seek money because I feel that that's going to give me security. I seek relationships because I feel that it's going to give me the love that I think I don't have. I seek success or whatever, or a particular career, because that somehow validate a sense of inadequacy or a sense of lack or a sense of less than. You see, the seeking is always, we're always seeking as long as we forget who we are. When you know who you are, then there's no seeking. All that there is life expressing. That's all. Simple as that. Let me continue. It's hard not to seek, not to search. Your comments separate dependence from even the most basic things like health, work, etc. Once again, life is living you. The basic things are taken care of by life, not by you. If you need to go to the bathroom, life will push you to go in that direction and you cannot do anything about it. If you're hungry, life itself will take care of dealing with those basic needs, so life is doing all anyway. I'm not separating health or anything like that. If there's a health issue, you'll notice how naturally there's a part that life through you is going to do something about it. That, you call it survival mechanism, I call it existence. I call it life taking care of itself. You see, the survival only comes when I believe I'm a separate entity and I believe the thoughts that are interpreting my situation, and then that's when I get into survival mode. But there's no survival, it's just basically life expressing through the instrument. You see? So I'm not separating one with the other one with the comments, I'm just pointing, you see, of what you actually are. Then the person continues. It's true that life unfolds on its own, but we are receivers of sensations. No, we're not receivers of sensations. Sensations appear. The belief that I'm a person, that I'm a separate individual who think that is the one feeling the sensations, creates the illusion that I'm receiver of sensations. but I'm not a receiver of anything. The sky is not the receiver of the clouds. Clouds appears in it and they disappear in it. It's when the mind begins to interpret the sensation that the problem comes in. But as I remain as I am, sensations are just that. I'm not receiving them. I'm not a receiver of thoughts. I'm just I am. That's it. Thoughts appears in me. Sensations appear in me. But I am. See? Then it continues. It's true that some exaggerate or magnify things according to their interpretation, but we are limited by this dependency on a system that doesn't work solely based on your interpretations or expectations of results and count. But you see, you're saying it right here that it all has to do with interpretation. Everything is interpretation. Life happens and that's it. Life is. Everything is interpretation. If you take away the interpretation, what remains? What remains is what is. And these videos are pointing to what is. And that's why I always say, if you don't believe the content of the mind, meaning if you just drop the interpretation, what remains? What remains is what is. You see, and there's no dependency of anything there. It's just simply what is. And yes, interpretations will be used for practical reasons and everything, but that's fine, but that does not affect you psychologically. It doesn't lead you to suffering. It just simply, okay, I need to make interpretations to know how to work this or function this, or if I am prompt to do something, I notice that there's interpretations to carry on that task or whatever, but I remain as I am always, never losing sight of the fact that I am, and this is where these videos are pointing to. And it says, sensations kidnapped you, trapped you, and there's always a struggle for survival. No, sensations don't kidnap you and they don't trap you. They just simply are. That's it. The clouds doesn't trap the sky. They just simply appearance in it. But if the sky forgets that it's a sky and begins to interpret, like the person says in there, the clouds may experience psychological suffering. Sensations doesn't kidnap me, they just simply are appearances. If anything, there's signals that may suggest, hey, pay attention. For example, look at a thermostat. If you look at air conditioning, for example, an air conditioner has a thermostat. A thermostat means that if the temperature rises above certain level or below certain level, the thermostat kicks in. So the rise or the fall of the temperature doesn't kidnap the air conditioning. No, it's just simply letting know, hey, we're getting off course here. So the air conditioning, what it does, immediately reacts with the thermostat. Well, when you know who you are and you find that you're distracted, that doesn't mean that the sensation kidnapped you. Is that you're noticing immediately, okay, there's a sensation happening and I see how an interpretation wants to take over. And in that moment, I'm not kidnapped. I just realize, okay, nothing means anything. We'll go back to what is. You see? So when you know who you are, there's no kidnapped or anything. They're just noticing that, okay, we're getting off course and now we're just going back on course. That's all. The kidnap only happens when you believe the content of the mind. Then it's when it appears as if you've been kidnapped by the sensation. But you haven't been kidnapped by the sensation. The sensation simply appear, and then if you believe the content of the mind, well, then you roll with it. But again, it's not because anything has kidnapped you. It's because you're feeding, you see, without realizing, you're feeding that feeling, that sensation, or whatever the appearance may be. But when you know who you are, then again, you're resting in what is, and sensations appear, thoughts appear, everything seems to appear, but you remain as I am. And the I am is what you're being right now. You see, this is very simple. It's not complicated. It's only when you believe you're that separate entity that questions like this and this kind of like mind tricks can show up to try to throw curveball and to make the simple complicated. But it's very simple right now. All that there is what is. But I'm not telling this to you, the person. I'm simply pointing to what is. Right now life is. Right now this is it. Life is. You are. I am. This is it. And nothing else. And now sensations appears in it, thoughts appears in it, but I remain as I am. And this is all we're reminded here, that's all. And well, this is inspiration that came through, so I hope it served. And as always, may peace permeate the mind so that love can become evident.